Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time tonight. We're talking about Jack and Lilly Sullivan, ages 4 and 6 years old, who vanished from their Pictou County, Nova Scotia home. And tonight we're going to be digging into some of the parents' statements, some of the RCMP documents, doing some analysis on that. And we're going to be looking back at some things that happened in the very, very beginning. Also, Daniel claimed that he has and doesn't go on any other screen names, but in the past, we have shown that that was not exactly true. Was he in the chat the other night while we were live on our big panel? We got a lot to talk about. Get ready for it on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here I've walked through storms.
Can y'all hear that? When I play that, can y'all hear that? You can. Let's see here. There's got to be, maybe this will work now.
I've walked through storms. I've walked through.
Ooh, what did I do? What did I do? 1 second, guys. What did I do?
I've walked through storms. I've walked through. I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is December 22nd, 2025. It is currently 8:52 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Bonjour. Hello, Justin has entered the chat. Justin has entered the chat. Good to see you all, my beautiful pearls. Hopefully, you are doing well. Doing well. Um, take the poll. Yes, 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 yes. Good to see you all. I was just trying to fix more stuff here. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just trying to fix something. I do apologize. I actually got a new router and stuff today. Yesterday,
I've walked through.
wait, no. Yesterday my internet went out. My internet went out. And my router and stuff was old. It was like 15 years old. And so I went ahead and upgraded today and all that because when the routers that they send you, it's like you have to rent them. You're leasing them every month. It's on your bill. And I was like, I'm just gonna buy one that I want because of certain features and all that. So I had to kind of reset up some stuff here, so I do apologize for that, guys. Just do apologize for that. Okay, so good to see all of you guys. We are Merry Christmas to you, Miss Misty. Hello, Mallory, Shelby, Jen, Anna Banana, Lorette, Teresa, Golden Star, CZ, Tina, Tam. Good to see you, my dear. Hello, Dav, Sue. Hello, Angel, Trash Panda, Angel of Light, Misty Moonlight, Bev. Good to see you, Mallory, Sky Maiden, Vivian, and Tammy. Hello. Good to see everyone up in here, Guys, before we get started, if you don't mind, please hit that thumbs up button. Would be so thankful. Are you guys ready for Christmas? Can't believe it's almost 2026. Mm-mm-mm. Goes by really quick. Today is your baby boy Carter's birthday. Happy birthday to baby boy Carter. Happy birthday. Really fast. So quick. It's just absolutely crazy how fast life is. Santa will be here in about 72 hours. I know. Your daughter's coming tonight? She's coming to visit for the holidays? That's amazing. That's amazing. If you have loved ones coming in or you're going somewhere, be safe and enjoy it. Enjoy it. Delayed Christmas due to helping friends from flood in Washington. Oh, Misty, bless you, honey. 3 months till spring. I know, right? It's crazy. Guys, we're talking about Jack and Lilly Sullivan, who vanished from their Pictou County, Nova Scotia home. And I was just looking through something, and I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Lori, want to thank you very much. I do appreciate your super sticker. Means so much to me, my dear. Good to see you. Thank you so much, Lori. And thank you for being a member. And we got Dad coming in clutch. 7 months. How you doing, man? Just wanted to, I love this show and everyone here at Dustin. Really, thank you so much, Daff. I want you to take good care of yourself, honey. She's, keep Daphne in your prayers. She got some bad news on from the dermatologist, and she's got to get her. She went for a biopsy, and it didn't come back very clear, and she's going to have to get some skin cancer removed. Been there, done that. I know, I know. Stay out of those tanning beds, y'all. Stay out of them. Okay, Justin, did you see my email last night about the bags of clothes? I think those are Christmas gifts for a charity like Angel Tree for the 3 kids, 3 bags, in my opinion. Hmm. Could be. Could be. Like, you think they're giving them away? Is that what you think? They're giving, like, Jack and Lily's clothes away? Is that what you mean? Thank you so much, Miss Tina, 17 months, girl. How you doing? Really do appreciate you, my dear. 17 months of happiness with Clutch. Thank you so much, Miss Tina. Appreciate you, my dear. It won't play right? I don't know what you mean, Bev. Everyone's having trouble with their internet. I don't know what's going on. Our very own Joyous, she's having trouble with her internet. Daphne was having trouble with hers. I've been having trouble with mine. I never have trouble with my internet, ever. Like, ever. It's crazy. Okay. He did. He did. Yep, he did. I don't know what she means by that. I don't think it's for Christmas or anything, personally, in my opinion, but maybe she knows something I don't. So, oh, that's sweet, CZ. Okay, guys. So remember we caught the blue or the blah, the bull, BL with Daniel, right? When he was talking about the vehicles, right? And I was looking at some Brad says he is 1000%. I think it's Brad, one of the neighbors, says he's 1000% sure that it was what kind of car? It was a black. What kind of car was it, Daff? Kia? Joyous, did you get your internet? Did you get your internet? Good, 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 good. Black Kia Rio. And it's a skull. It's a skull. Um okay. So do you guys remember this? Now I'm having thoughts about it. Let me find it. I'm having thoughts about this. And I want to hear what your thoughts on it. All stations, just a warning, a black, it says SUV of the residence, and on the left side of the road, does not appear to be a CRV, but a black SUV. If anybody wants to come up and look at it just under the helicopter here now, if you guys are visual. Bravo 3 drove by on the way. That's a Kia Sportage. Delta Papa Uniform 468. I didn't run it, but there's nobody in it. But there's nobody in it. And it says, I'm right here. I'll search it for you. Yeah, we copy that. There are two, looks like two individuals walking down toward the lake ahead of the vehicle. And there's a cabin on the end of the lake. Thanks. That vehicle comes back to Gregory Diffin from Go Ahead. Did they ever find this person? This makes me very suspicious. There was nobody in it. Yep. Yep. Randy, you get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Gregory Diffin. It's very sus. Supposedly walking to fish. Did they talk to see? Did they talk and see who this was? Because the neighbor is 100 or 1000% sure, actually, he said, that Daniel was in the black Kia. He might have said the blue, or he might have meant the black. They both start with BL. I want to know more about this. There are two, looks like two individuals walking down toward the lake ahead of the vehicle, and there's a cabin at the end of the lake. The vehicle comes back to Gregory Diffin. In MEEP, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Okay? Let me start that right there. Who do we got here? Tammy, come on down. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. Now, look at this. Going back to Durwood knows, in my opinion, Brandy. Durwood O'Grady, August 14th, 2016 Kia Sportage, Halifax, Nova Scotia, $1,500. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Beep beep, mother chickens. Something is wrong here. Something is very, very wrong here. Durwood says that Malaya was putting them in a black, what was it, a black SUV. right? Thank you, Sarah. Yes, you guys are making my points here. A lot of times when people buy and sell cars, they leave the registration to the previous owner and never transfer them in their own name. That is absolutely correct. And if you haven't transferred it yet in your name, right, Bobby, it's not. It's not Janie's responsibility to watch Malea's children. It's not. Nobody said it was. Janie said she watched the kids. Daniel and Malaya both said she watched the kids. Too many coincidences. Mm-hmm. Something's up here. Something is up here. And I don't think it's Durwood as much as maybe his sons, children, in my opinion. But again, I don't know why she keeps thinking that's easy, to be honest with you. I don't know why she thinks that. But remember, many times when people are lying, right, they will say someone did something whenever it wasn't necessarily the other person, it might have been them, perhaps. Now, what I find very interesting here is what was it that um, Durwood said a while back that was it uh, Malaya's grandmother wanted him to go get Malaya and the kids? Wanted him to go get Malaya and the kids? Remember that? Like a week or so before, um, they went missing. I'm going to have to dig more on this. Now, for Durwood, out of all people, right, to be of course, it's Malaya's kids. Patty wanted Durwood to go get the kids, right? Yes, correct. Wait, that makes me. When was the last time Durwood had actually seen Malaya? A long ass time, right? A long ass time. Years? He didn't see Malaya very often, did he? Right. Now, if that is true, does anyone know where Durwood spoke about two people came to his house? Was it like Daniel He said he didn't see Daniel for 2 years. Well, then he... Where did he say that, Daff? My wheels are spinning. Now, to be fair, there is a lot of Kia Sportages and all that, right? There are. But Brad knows what he saw, knows what he heard, knows that Daniel's car is loud as... Durwood is a distant relative, you could say. But his kids are very close with Daniel, right? His kids are very close to Daniel. And well, yeah, Bobby, you would die protecting them, but I don't think Janie or Malaya would. With Jack and Lily, Malaya wouldn't. She won't do shit for her kids, even when they're missing. Didn't he used to live with Patty? I don't know. I really don't know. Let me go back here. See if I can find something. Oops. Shit. No. I'm going to go back. Let me see what he says right here. Oh my God. Why is it doing this? Switch. Sorry, we found some errors. What does that mean? Oh, no. Bear with me, guys. Let me go back here. I want to see what he says here. Oh, actually, you know what? Daff has it here. She sent this to me the other day. And this has got me very curious now. Daff, you sent me okay. 2 seconds. I think it's on TikTok. 1 second. Damn. Hey, Daff, when you sent me the other day with Durwood talking, I got it. Never mind. We're going to listen to what he has to say here. Guys, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Would greatly appreciate that.
So if I never came back, I wanted somebody to be able to say, this is what he thought when he went to see, when he was 90% sure that what I was telling you was correct.
Right.
But I was going to see some people
Right.
about this that I wasn't sure I'd be coming back from.
Right. Oh.
So if I never came back, I wanted somebody to be able to say, this is what he thought when he went to see, when he went to do this. And if he went to do this and I ended up not coming back,
right,
then that would give you a good strong trail to follow as to maybe
what happened.
Yeah.
Your errands.
So what, the people I went to see, I never expected this, you see. I expected a different thing altogether.
Different outcome, yeah. Mhm.
So I went to see these people, and
But what?
Now, Durwood has a burning passion of disdain for RCMP. It's pretty bizarre. You know, there's people that just don't like the RCMP, but then there are people that he just does not. That's when he was going after MBM, right? Well, he really seemed like he hasn't stopped.
Darren, go.
And that's why things changed on that. That's why things changed in the circumstances that I told you on that letter.
Yeah.
Things changed a lot. So that's not total. That's not even near totally accurate. It might be 50% accurate. But I'll tell you this. I will tell you this, guys. In the end result, if Daniel was guilty of and being involved in the disappearance of these kids, the kids would have definitely been dead.
Now that's crazy. The way he says that. I'm just really weirded out about that Kia with Brad saying 1,000% it's a Kia. Daniel saying the blah. And then we've got what I just showed you of there's nobody in this vehicle. I need to pull up the rest of these transcripts. And then Durwood selling this vehicle in August. Adele, exactly the way he speaks about Daniel's friends is really sketchy. Exactly, Christine. What did she say? It is very sketchy. I don't know. They seem to be a lot of crud going around. Oh, I hope you feel better, baby. Yes, Brandy, that's what I heard. I would love to discuss. Daniel hid like a little bish when Durwood recently went to the property to allegedly confront you. Yes. And I showed you guys those the other day. What does that mean, crazy? Yes. If he had been involved, they would be dead. So he wasn't, and they are alive. I mean, the way he says that the kids, yes.
No two ways about it. If Daniel was guilty of that, they would definitely be dead. If Daniel was innocent of that, and I'm only talking about the removal of the kids. I'm not talking about their life together. I'm only talking about the disappearance of the kids, okay? And if Daniel had no direct involvement with the disappearance of the kids, then I knew the kids were going to be alive.
Right. Which you said.
Because Malaya was not going to have the kids killed or seriously harmed, okay? And at the beginning of this, and even this morning, I wasn't sure about Daniel, because what they feared we could have protected her from right off the bat would have been no problem to protect her what she was scared of.
What is he talking about? What is he talking about here? Yep, Brandy, you're fine. What is he talking about here? To protect her if she was scared of. Yeah, I'll replay.
Daniel had no direct involvement with the disappearance of the kids.
With the disappearance of the kids.
I knew the kids were going to be alive.
Then I knew the kids were going to be alive. Okay, so if Daniel didn't have involvement, he knows the kids are going to be alive. But if Daniel did have involvement, then he knows the kids are going to be dead.
Right. Which you said.
Malaya was not going to have the kids killed or
Because Malaya was not going to have them unalive.
seriously harmed. Okay.
Seriously
Okay.
harmed.
And
But you're saying Daniel would.
at the beginning of this, and even this morning, I wasn't sure about Daniel, because
Even this morning, I wasn't sure about Daniel.
what they feared we could have protected her from.
Because what they feared we could have protected her from. What has Daniel told him?
Right off the bat, would have been no problem to protect her what she was scared of. And I believe if she would have done it that way, and she wanted to separate and walk out, she could have walked out with her kids. She could have walked out peacefully. We could have.
Oh, you're probably right, Callie. He's talking about Daniel tweaked out and threatening Malaya. Yes. Because, listen, Malaya went into the bathroom around midnight, and Daniel was in there doing the math. He said Malaya could have been helped if she asked, basically. Yeah. Yes. Yes. And that's what I was talking. That's what I'm talking about. This is just very weird to me. Going from this dispatch, what the neighbor heard that night, the dispatch of it being in someone else's name, but there was nobody around that car. This clip has anyone always been a yes. And then Durwood saying he never had this Kia until we caught him and said he had a fucking Kia. I could be missing something. I don't know.
Go over and take her to, like, some of my relatives have a good life, and we could have parked her in there, and some of us would have protected her and watched out for her, and her people would have protected her, helped her financially, would have helped her with the kids, and we could have brought her right along back into a life where she wouldn't have to be scared and she'd be protected. As I've explained, I couldn't get her there. I couldn't do that. And some of it was time, because don't forget, I had to judge my relatives just the same as I had to judge Daniel's family. And when I judged it, I looked at my relatives, who I know a little better than Daniel's family, quite a bit better, and the characteristics of them. And
okay, 1 second. Let me get this. Let me trust this. 1 second. We got a transcript. Okay. All right. He says, and some of it was time, because don't forget, I had to judge my relatives just the same as I had to judge Daniel's family. And when I judged it, I looked at my relatives, who I know a little better than Daniel's friend, quite a bit better. Who's Daniel's friend? Who's Daniel's friend? Struck me a long time. Listen to this.
Couldn't get her there. I couldn't do that. And some of it was time, because don't forget, I had to judge my relatives just the same as I had to judge Daniel's family. And when I judged it, I looked at my relatives, who I know a little better than Daniel's family, quite a bit better, and the characteristics of them, and better than Daniel's family, quite a bit better, and the characteristics of them, and so it struck me, it took me a long time because Malaya shut down. You see, actually the Mackenzies and Daniel and another person on that side Logan never shut down on me. She gave me information and helped me. And I helped her because we were helping each other to try to figure these kids out. Logan wanted these kids brutal. I mean, she's still trying to get Meadow.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, of course. So, Darren, like I said, people know exactly who you are. Your name is Darren Geddes on there. So my thing is this. If you're 1,000% and this person has told you, why is the RCMP, why is this case not been solved in RCMP and the $150,000 put up? So like that doesn't.
Because I think the RCMP are centered on one person, and I think they're centered on the wrong person. And they need two bodies to charge this person, and they can't find two bodies.
Okay. Lauren wants to ask you a question.
Listen, my friend is looking at me right now. She wants me to go down with this, and I told her I was going to have one more little go with this here to let you guys, to inform you guys. So I'm actually so thankful that I know what I know. And I'm actually so thankful that there's nothing else I can do. I can't bring those kids back here. I can't dictate who Meadow goes with. So I'm just relieved to have it off my back that was supposed to have killed his two kids. And that's all I heard. So it was just by fluke. And if Daniel's listening, he can tell you this is the truth. Oh, by the way, people, I never worked with Daniel. I never said I worked with Daniel. My youngest son worked with Daniel up at the.
Yes, and y'all, they're very good friends, aren't they? Very good friends, right? Go over to each other's house, right?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
That's how the relationship come around.
Okay, thank you.
And it's just weird to me that, again, Durwood and Daniel and Janie were saying that Malaya put the kids in a black, I don't know if they said, I think they said black just SUV is what they said.
And I hadn't seen Daniel in a couple of years, but then right out of the blue, I'm hearing about this guy that killed his kids. His name was Daniel in Lansdowne. And then I heard something. I don't know where I heard it, but what I knew at that time was that there was a black SUV supposedly suspiciously involved.
Okay, hold on. Listen. Fucking listen.
Then I heard something. I don't know where I heard it, but what I knew at that time was that there was a black SUV supposedly suspiciously involved.
What'd I tell you? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, let's say, for instance, that this is just a theory because I've got to do more research. This is just based upon what I know right now. Okay. But let's say, for the sake of what we know right now, this is the transcript. Just a warning, a black SUV, something of the residence and on the left side of the road, does not appear to be a CRV, but it is a black SUV. Okay. Bravo 3 drove by that on the way in. That's a Kia Sportage, which is, I don't know, exactly what someone was supposed to have had that night. I'm right here. I'll search for it. Yeah, copy that. There are two. And then they said it looks like two individuals walking down towards the lake ahead of the vehicle. And there's a cabin at the end of the lake. The vehicle comes back to Gregory Diffin. Now, again, Gregory Diffin could be the past owner, right? And it just not transferred. And then we asked Durwood in the past. Durwood, and I've got the message, him saying it in Sonny's chat. Durwood, have you ever had a Kia Sportage? He says, I've never owned a Kia. Could be as well. But in August 14th, he's selling a very cheap Kia Sportage. Possibly needs engine, was newly inspected. Thank you, Joyous. It could be a coincidence, but I know what the neighbor saw. And I will say it's very interesting if, for instance, you use that car and you park it down the road because you don't want it, number one, at your house, and you might walk back home that night or something, or be dropped off by someone else. This is very weird. There's something here. It may not all be connected, but something is going on somewhere here. Now that is for sure. It's just so hard. It's harder to find people's information. It passed inspection, supposedly. Yeah, the cabins. How far is the cabins away?
Daniel, he'll tell you this.
Listen to this.
And then I heard something. I don't know where I heard it, but
okay. Here he says, and I heard something. I don't know where I heard it. Well, you either heard it from you, Daniel, or Janie. $500 cabin in church. Isn't that the way that they said that the car went back toward after it turned around at the railroad tracks? It went back that way. Exactly, Adele. Exactly. I went to the cabins where the kids were, Daniel Martell. who didn't have insurance on his garage, so doesn't have a contents. Something's weird. With all of these things, maybe some of these can be explained, maybe they can't. But something is weird. It turned around right there, like the railroad tracks, wasn't it? What did Shan say? Yes. I went to the cabins. Justin Daniel showed up at Durwood's barn a few days later with a girl and a guy. Wonder if he was trying to sell it there. Was he trying to sell that car there? Oh, he's very invested.
What I knew at that time was that there was a black SUV supposedly suspiciously involved.
How does he know? Transcripts?
Daniel, he'll tell you this, was with another fellow. I won't mention that guy's name, and a lady that was driving. And apparently, like, they were worried about Daniel's friends and that were staying away from him because of they didn't want to get involved or get touched with that stuff.
Okay. How does he go from this SUV to a woman and a man, Daniel's friend, and didn't want to get invested in this stuff? Listen to how he does this.
I hadn't seen Daniel in a couple of years, but then right out of the blue, I'm hearing about this guy that killed his kids. His name was Daniel. In that time, was that there was a black SUV supposedly suspiciously involved. Daniel, he'll tell you this, was with another fellow. I won't mention that guy's name, and a lady that was driving. And apparently, like, they were worried about Daniel's friends and that were staying away from him because of they didn't want to get involved or get touched with that stuff. So, and like I said, if Daniel's online, I hope Janie's here too. So one day I was working in behind my barn in Foster Avenue where I work on my junk. I'm retired, but I go back to the old property and I got a barn back there and my tools and a bunch of old junks back there. So I just go there to play now, really, fix up old junk. I was back there one day, and this was, like I say, about a week and a half or so after the kids had been gone. And this black SUV pulled out front. I never thought anything of it. And so I walked out front just to see who it was.
This black SUV. Danielle, thank you so much, my dear. Welcome to the Phil family. Appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so much. Listen to this. There's something really wrong here.
So it was a lady driving who doesn't need to be named and it was another guy with Daniel.
A lady that doesn't need to be named, and there's another guy with Daniel. Okay.
And it was Daniel. Daniel got out of the rig. And this other guy I know, this other guy used to work with my youngest son too, by coincidence, at another location. So when they were down the road.
Hold on. This other guy used to work with my youngest son too, by coincidence, at another location. He's leaking like a sieve.
So when they were down the road, the other guy and the girl brought Daniel in town because he hadn't eaten in a few days, and he looked. Girl brought Daniel in town because he hadn't eaten in a few days.
What?
And he looked pretty gaunt, so they brought him in town to buy him a slice of pizza and get him straightened up. Oh, by the when Daniel and this other guy dropped into the yard, I went out front and seen Daniel get out of the car, and we shook hands, and I said, it had been a couple of years.
Hold on.
Him a slice of pizza and get him straightened up. Oh, by when Daniel and this other guy dropped into the yard, I went out front and seen Daniel get out of the car, and we shook hands, and I said, it had been a couple of years at least since I saw him. My son Jordan, his buddy, come out of the house and said, "Oh, Jesus, Daniel." Now Jordan, my son, they already knew more about it than I did.
Was addicted and sick on empty. They say on a, yeah. What did Callie say? Yeah. Yeah. They don't eat. They're up for days. They look gaunt. Of course. He's been on a bender. But look what he says here. Something's weird. Let's see here. We're at 7:09. Okay. Daniel, get out of the car, and we shook hands, and I should have been, it's been a couple of years since I saw him. My son Jordan, his buddy, come out of the house and say, "Oh, Jesus, Daniel." Now Jordan, my son, they already knew more about it than I did. Jordan grabbed him and all of a sudden caught on. Jordan grabbed Daniel and they gave him a hug and said, "Listen, Daniel, I know you couldn't have done this." Okay. What's the fucking likelihood? Come on now. Hit the thumbs up, y'all. What's the likelihood? The neighbor said he knows what Daniel's car looks and sounds like and is 1,000% sure. Says he knew what he heard and saw one of them. Both of them heard the loud car. There's another car they notice sitting next to the cabins or wherever down the road, right? It's in someone else's name. Yes. Right? Then this whole dark SUV thing comes up that took the kids. Right? And then Daniel Mathtel is with two people out of anybody's place, Durwood's place. Hadn't seen him in years. But Durwood's children knew all about it. Durwood, have you ever owned a Kia? I've never owned a Kia. Never owned a Kia. Sure. One in August 14th, $1,500. Don't know, Brandy. Don't know that part.
By coincidence at another location. So when they were down the road, the other guy and the girl brought Daniel in town because he hadn't eaten in a few days and he looked pretty gaunt, so they brought him in town to buy him a slice of pizza. And
Angel baby, I hope you feel better, honey. Thank you so much. Get some rest, honey. Love you.
And get him straightened up. Oh, by the when Daniel and this other guy dropped into the yard, I went out front and seen Daniel get out of the car, and we shook hands, and it had been a couple of years.
Yep. When, Wolfie? Is it sitting there now? Do you have that pic? Can you send it to me? What did Callie say? We're by the Black House on Gerlach Road from the railroad tracks. Yes. Bingo, John. Yes. And he was posting it like it was in Halifax. It's not in Halifax. Why are you not posting it in your location? Why are you not posting it in your location? Yeah, send it to me. No, there's not a... Well, in the RCMP documents, Daniel says he goes to pick up his friends to help him look. Exactly, Dav. Oh, if the motor was bad, yeah, it wouldn't pass inspection. They were selling it very cheaply, in my opinion, to get rid of it soon. Exactly. He does not live in Halifax. Mm-hmm. This is getting really weird, y'all.
Since I saw him, my son Jordan, his buddy, come out of the house and said, "Oh, Jesus, Daniel." Now Jordan, my son, they already knew more about it than I did. Jordan grabbed him, and all of a sudden I caught on. Jordan grabbed Daniel and gave him a hug and said, "Listen, Daniel, I know you couldn't have done this." He said, "They're saying you killed your kids, and I know you never did it. I know you did, and it's not in you." All of a sudden, I'm standing there, and that was like a slap in the face. I thought, "Holy shit, this is the Daniel." So then that's when I started piecing things together.
Yeah.
That's when you started piecing things together. I can't usually get a car with a good safety inspection for less than $2,500. Could have engine problems. Well, it was really loud, really loud. Now, Daniel's car is really loud. It had exhaust issues, and it had a motor issue. Maybe it was like throwing a rod or something like that, which will make it very, very loud. Oh, they are. They are, Ash. I've been working my ass off on this case. He didn't. How did he piece things together when he said he didn't know anything? Yes. 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 But you got to remember what the neighbor said. I was very suspicious about the Subaru as well. Don't know. Don't know when it's sold. All we know is it's missing. Can you do that in Canada? If he didn't see Daniel in 2 years, why did he give a shit? Well, the question is, why does he see Daniel right after Jack and Lily go missing? You ain't seen him in 2 years. Well, Marie, it was advertised for sale a long time ago, but then Daniel got it. Because it's in what is over matters. Exactly. And starts talking about the kids.
So the other thing is, listen, this has been totally, I got into this totally for my cousin.
So can you confirm that 8 o'clock, like what you said earlier, was about the time that Janie kind of seen Malaya, but didn't?
No, that would have been a mistake. It was later than 8 o'clock. I would say it was later than 8 o'clock.
Okay, so it's.
I would say it was. Now I even said to Janie, I remember confirming to her. So I said, so Janie, it was around 8:45. You figure? You're sure? And she said something like, no, it was 5 or 10 after 9.
Okay, only
that they were trying to say my rendition of what I understand, what Janie told me. Janie, her dog started barking, and she knew the kids were out in the yard, and she knew Malaya was taking them. She knew Malaya took them out the back. She could hear them walking, took them out the back door, outside the fence onto the driveway, and where the boot pit came from, that driveway's harder than nails. But the night before, Janie, there was a pothole and a little ditch on the far side of the driveway, and Janie herself was out with the shovel the night before, filling that little ditch and pothole in, and it was raining the night before, and the gravel and it's muddy gravel. It's not really good clean stone in that, and it was wet, and that's why the little one boot print got sunk in the mud right at the edge where she was fixing the driveway a little bit. And then she showed me it, told me all about it, pointed it out, showed me it. And so she said that's when she came out, she said she knew, she heard the kids. She knew the kids were supposed to be there. And she came up to Malaya, and Malaya was standing there with Meadow on her arm, looking at the phone. And Janie looked at Malaya and said, well, where's the kids? Because she knew the kids were there. She just heard the kids. Where's the kids? And Malaya sort of looked stunned. And then...
Let me tell you something. They have always put in this story that Malaya looks stunned. Right? Always put it in this story. Oh, Malaya looks stunned. Like she, in fact, like they would say sometimes, like she just got caught doing something she shouldn't have been doing. They've actually said that. They are pushing that to make suspicion happen to Malaya. Right. Janie is sitting right next to Durwood there. If he hasn't seen Daniel in 2 years and then showed up at his house in the first time he's seen them, how the hell does he know what happened? He doesn't. Very good point. Very good point. Yep. You know what I think's happening? I think Janie is protecting hers and Durwood is protecting his. That's what I think. Hey, Jips. Good to see you, baby. Love you. That's what I think.
Just wait. And the next comment she meant was, let me see if I get this accurate. Okay, how long have they been? Well, where's the kids? Oh, she said they're in the woods. Malaya said to Janie, they're in the woods. Now, Janie can swear to this. It's all documented.
Right.
They're in the.
Well, Janie didn't say that they're in. Malaya didn't say. Did you send that, Wolfie? Did you email it or text it? Hold on one second. You got that picture, Wolfie? She was texting him, so Durwood should have these texts. And then she is sitting next to him in the next one. Isn't that interesting? Hey, Kels. We're getting somewhere. This is getting. She didn't say the kids were in the woods. She said, we can't find the kids. I don't have it, Wolfie. I don't have it. I don't have it via text or email.
Woods. Well, how long were they gone? 20 minutes, she said. So there's where then Daniel came running out. Now there's a little mix up here in Daniel's memory and mine. I don't know whether he was sleepy or I got the idea, but I checked with Janie two times on this so I could get it right in my head. So anyway, long story short, and maybe a little error in there somewhere, was that was my main finishing proof that Daniel never killed the kids. They were there alive, around 8:30. But no, it was later than that. They were there about Janie's got this timeline all documented on her phone. She was that smart. Ron, her son brother, had called her at 6:10, and she got that call on her phone. She called
6:10. 6:10. Did he get that wrong, or is he slipping and saying something? 6:10? Might be getting the time wrong, or he may be slipping. The first call from Ron was at what time? 8 something? She was up at 6. I have that in writing. What did Cheryl say? it seems like I remember in the beginning that Janie wasn't showing all of the text messages. And one was at 6 something, and one was at 8, and then again at 10 something. Yeah, no one slept Thursday night. Thank you so much, Ham. Thank you, Ham. That's so cute. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate you very much. You received that pearl necklace. Make sure you thank our, sorry, Hamadu. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate you very much. There was an early text or phone call, a little. Yes. Yes, Joyous. Yes. There we go. Yep, Ron's call. 6:20, 8:28. But you know what's very interesting, JLYS? Janie has not. Are you sure, Brandy? I think there was too. Because I remember when she showed us those phone records. Whenever she showed us those, we said, scroll down a little bit more, Janie, because you're not showing all the phone calls. Right. So, yes. Daniel, you got the ones in the driveway, Wolfie? Thank you, Dav. Then she's sitting next to him. Okay, one second. One second, y'all. Now, this is interesting as well, because I know Durwood's watching right now. I know Daniel's watching. I know all of them's watching right now. Look at what. Hold on. Now, this makes me. Thank you for sending this. Durwood said, I think Wong's right about vehicles, but wrong about who the owner might be. He is telling the truth about what he saw, in my opinion. This is Durwood the other day. Now, I was thinking about this. Okay. Durwood, the owner, is this owner, does it come back as, hold on. Does it come back as I don't know, a Gregory Diffin, and it's just not been changed? I think Wong's right about the vehicles, but wrong about who the owner might be. Does it come back as a Gregory Diffin? He is telling the truth about what he saw, in my opinion. Derwood said say they were a bunch of liars, and he was done with them. Yeah, it was like at 6:15 or something. I knew that there was a call or something, and she didn't want to talk about that. It doesn't matter who is if yeah, I mean, it could have technically been. I'm not saying that I'm just scratching my brain in a theory. Again, this Gregory Differn, it could be someone else. But I know this black Kia is missing, Daniel. And where the fuck is it? Yes, thank you for that, my dear. Please hit that thumbs up button, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Been working really hard on this. I didn't hear anything but the kids. Okay. Now, and then you have this. Durwood says Janie heard shh. She also confirmed that with Belinda and her spoke. Then we have Belinda saying Janie didn't allow the search on Saturday, and police got a warrant and searched on Sunday. Sounds sus to me. Gregory, wasn't that the car Justin Smith was in? I don't know what you mean by that. What did she say? Oh, I bet you it's at the or the Crusher. Thank you. One second, guys. We're deep in this right now. Okay. I don't see the proof for the 6 a.m. window was. I don't see that one. What do you mean this 6 a.m.? I don't see it. I don't see it, Daff. You might want to resend it again. Sometimes things can be screwy. Thank you so much, my dear. Didn't Durwood say that Ron called Janie and she was sleeping and called him back at 6:15? I'm looking for this. This is really crazy, y'all. Really crazy. Okay. As up since 6. Look at this, guys. She says, yes, I was up raking where the pool was going around supper time Thursday night. And then she says this. Yes, I was up raking where the pool was going around supper time Thursday night. No pool because there was no kids here. Why put it up? I remember him saying that he saw Daniel, but he said Daniel went to his house. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And Janie, again, like I've always said, guys, look at this. There was too much stuff going around that house at 6 a.m. Now look at this. It's as parent as a day. Janie, you need to get to talking, girl. Seriously. Because at 6 a.m., this is whenever, 6:15ish. This is when Malaya says the kids are missing, or not missing, when she says that they're not going to school that day, right? You got me. Got it. Now, next thing. Janie's up at 6. Very interesting. And there's supposedly this call either to her or from her to her brother. So in both houses, they're up saying, okay, you call this, I'll do this. Perhaps in this theory. Now we go to 8 something. Malaya calls her mom. Doesn't get an answer. Then Janie gets a call from her brother as well. And then we go to 10 o'clock. She calls 911. Ron calls back. Right, joyous. Look at this. The timeline is I talked to my brother at 8:48, she says, and we talked for 2 minutes and 59 seconds, and the kids after that, as up since 6 that morning. Janie, scroll on down. Scroll on down so we can see above that. Ron went to tell Brad also, yes. Mm-hmm. Was that the one? Okay. 1 second. Durwood says he won't let Janie down either. What do you have to let her down for, Durwood? This is not even your family, right? Now, also tell me this. In a theory here, let's say, for instance, Durwood is related to Malaya, right? That is true. But let's say Malaya's boyfriend at the time, Daniel, in this theory, which is not a fact, don't take it as fact, do your own research, form your own opinion. But let's say that the boyfriend did something to their kids. And then let's say that the boyfriend got in his vehicle and did something with the kids. And then let's say that the boyfriend needed help. So he calls coworkers, friends, rug acquaintances, and they have a father who is interested in this case. But the father of, we'll call this guy Daniel's friend, Daniel's friends, let's say they got involved some way, somehow. Well, then Durwood is not going to be, he's not going to want to see Malaya get in trouble, but he really doesn't want to see Daniel get in trouble. Because in this theory, which is not a fact, in this theory, Daniel and his friends, cough, cough, you know who I'm talking about, was involved somehow. Yeah, I know Mohawk. Yeah, I know. But if okay, something's really wrong here. Mods, how many thumbs ups do we got? Something is really wrong here. Sassy, your whatever you sent me, it's not it's a blank email. All right. Mr. Daniel, I need to ask you something. Where's this vehicle, Daniel? Where is this vehicle? Where is this $1,500 vehicle? Okay. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. I didn't get anything from anybody. Daniel, where's this $1,500 vehicle that looks to be sold really fucking cheap, if you ask me? Yes, this 2016. Where is it? Daniel, guess what? I don't care if you scrapped it into a million fucking pieces. RCMP knows, and I'm going to find out as well. We're going to find out. Okay? And if I have to come up there this spring, check the water. I don't think it's in the water. Didn't Daniel say that his mom wasn't supposed to be there because she usually slept with her boyfriend, who was Janie's boyfriend? I do remember hearing that. That was like very first days. Yeah, I'm getting emails, Deborah. I wonder where this is parked. I wonder where this is parked at. Is this right when Jack and Lily went missing? All he did was fix it up and sell it. Interesting. It's on the side of the road there. It sure is. That's someone's. Yes, 4-cylinder, 4 tires, white 2017 Nissan Pathfinder is what Daniel says. Any of the family's properties. I'll find it. I've lost a lot of sleep, but I'll find that. I'll tell you what. And Daniel, I can do a lot more if I'm on the ground. Just so you know. Don't let the lipstick fool you, honey. Ooh, here we go. By the way, we have a message from Junkyard Janie. Right. Janie says they were happy kids. That's what she says. Were. Sounds like you know something, Miss Janie. Are you from the Tales from the Crypt Keeper or something? They were happy kids. I say they were happy kids. Listen, I went to the doctor today. The gynecologist needed, when I had my pap smear, he needed rubber gloves and an oyster shucker and a Dremel tool. It was bad. He said, next time, bring the diesel one. I was like, all right, Doc. But, it takes some time for Daniel to find his tools.
You know what I mean? It just takes some time. I mean, it took him 3 months to find a stapler, for God's sakes. Janie is speaking in past tense. No, I'm not, Kim. No, I'm not. And he said, "What's that growing on it?" I was like, "Oh, it's a hangnail." He's like, "Ma'am, you don't get a hangnail down there." I was like, "Oh, goodness. When mama smokes, baby chokes. Remember that, kids. Don't smoke. It's not good for you. You sound like me. I'm only 25 and I feel great. Okay? I'm only 25 and I feel fantastic. Get a little Red Bull, some cigarettes, and some dog treats at the Dollarama. I am good to go. Look at me. I'm 25 and I feel fantastic. Fantastic. Can't help it.
Janie knows exactly. No, Washa Spinna in prison. Janie no cigs either. There's cigarettes, I think, in prison, aren't they? Oh my God, Joyous. Thank you so much, honey. You are so sweet, my mama. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, my dear. Give our mama Joyous a big, big thank you. She is so good to us here. We got a lot more to talk about. Stay tuned. We're talking. Just wait. I just needed a bit of humor and let my brain rest for just a second. Thank you, Mr.
Welcome to Clutch Them Pearls, yeah, you're in the clue. Shine bright like the stars, this world never knew. We're dancing, laughing all around this world. Hold tight, shine bright, you're part of our pearl.
That's fantastic.
Janie would like to thank you too.
Thank you so much, my dear.
RCMP, open up.
Maybe I should put Janie on there too, because that's the way it's looking. Yeah. Yeah.
For every membership you buy, it helps with one more pap smear. Thank you, Miss Joyous.
In fact, I think instead of memberships now, I'm going to start calling them pap smears. Okay. Let's get into it. Could y'all hear me? Damn. It's not working. Okay. Let's go back here 1 second. All right. Look at this. Belinda, which is the only person I believe out of all these people. Hi, Justin. Durwood called me to see if I remembered Janie hearing a shushing sound. And I told him yes. I also heard it from Daniel. And he told me that Janie is denying that now. Now,
if you guys were once pushing this, why are you not pushing it now? Why are you denying it now? Is it because, I don't know, we're getting closer to the truth? Thank you, Hiker. Daff is cool. She's a cool cat and kitten. Joyous, you're laughing so hard. Always changing their stories. Oh, yeah. There is. But, once we started, interesting, guys, how when all of this broke that the neighbors heard something and we said, we caught Daniel saying blue or black, and then him telling exactly the way his trip he went. He says that morning, we say that night, early in the early hours of morning after midnight. And now we know it's a black vehicle. Daniel talks about those two keys because it has two keys, right? And then Daniel says, I took my car. And then he doubles up on it. He says, I took my car. And then he says, I took the car. But now, Janie and perhaps Daniel are denying this. Whenever not only Durwood has said this, been told this, Belinda has been told this as well. Now, this is what I think could have happened. I don't know how I feel about Durwood right now, because I'm thinking about this, and sometimes I just got to let things simmer. And I'll get back to it later. I just got to think on it. And I'm going to talk to some of my, we'll just call them professional friends later tonight or tomorrow. But I think even perhaps Durwood could have been manipulated even by Daniel. Maybe Daniel went and said later, hey, Durwood, I know you sell cars. Can you sell this one for me? I don't know. But I do believe he knows what the fuck's going on now. With all my heart and soul. I don't know. But we need to find this 610 because I think Kent was manipulated. I think he was too, and I don't think he realized it. He was believing. Yep. Listen. Let me tell you something. With Daniel, nobody means nothing to him, in my opinion. Nobody. If you can't benefit him, feed him, or finance him, he doesn't give a shit about you. my opinion, allegedly.
Called him back like about 6:20 or so. She was halfway awake. And
okay. Daff. Is Daff in here? Daphne. Is this when Durwood was sitting right beside of Janie right here? Because if that's true, yep. Because I've heard there was a call at 6 something. I may even have a fucking screenshot. I need to dig deep. But Durwood is saying right here, Janie got a call at 6:10. Listen.
Around 8:30, but no, it was later than that. They were there about Janie, and Janie's got this timeline all documented on her phone. She was that smart. Ron, her son, brother, had called her at 6:10, and
she's got it all documented, he says. Ron, her brother, called her at 6:10.
She got that call on her phone. She called him back like about 6:20 or.
There you go.
So she was halfway awake, and when she come out of the trailer, she checked her phone, and she got the time of that. Really pissed me off. Okay, today what really got me going. When Daniel told me, now I'm telling you what Daniel testified to himself. He testified to it in the interviews, and he testified to it directly to me numerous times. He testified to it to Logan. Mm-hmm. He testified to it to everybody. Daniel's claim was that on the morning this happened, he got up, realizing the kids were gone. He went outside, him and Malaya went outside, and Malaya was kind of stunned.
Listen.
And looking guilty. And Daniel said, well, where's the kids? And she said,
right? They wanted to blame it. Remember what Daniel said. Remember what Daniel said on Sunday with that reporter, Sunday or Monday. She's going to blame it all on me. He said the son, then he said the brother. Oh, yeah. Yes, he certainly Mohawk.
All they're gone. And he said, well, where are they gone? Where are the kids? And how long have they been gone? And she said, 20 minutes. First he said, like, where are they? And she said she thought they were in the woods. So Daniel, in the 30 seconds he talked about the first that he was in the woods, and everybody said, oh, Jesus, how would he go all around the country in 30 seconds? No, it was two different times. They got a little cabin beside the house that the kids.
Now we're talking about the cabins. Hold on, I need to go back 1 second.
Where are the kids? And how long have they been gone? And she said, 20 minutes. First he said, like, where are they? And she said she thought they were in the woods. So Daniel, in the 30 seconds he talked about the first that he was in the woods, and everybody said, oh, Jesus, how would he go all around the country in 30 seconds? No, it was two different times. They got a little cabin beside the house that the kids play in. Actually, there's two. If you go halfway down the driveway and then left up over the shoulder of the driveway and then back towards the trailer, there's a little half-arched log cabin that somebody made for them, and it has like a playhouse for the kids. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay? And then there's another little one behind that's cut out from underneath the tree where they go up, and there was toys scattered in there and that. So Daniel's first thought was they're up in the cabin or they're in the playhouse. So this is where he ran down the driveway, ran up over the little bank up in by the cabin, and he did the whole circle in under 30 seconds. But then his mother was out looking for the kids. So then Daniel said to Malaya, well, where are the kids? And she, somewhere along the line, he got the idea that she was saying they were in the woods. So he grabbed the truck, having already looked at the edge of the property.
No, Janie said the first place I thought
they would be is the woods. That's what Janie said too. That's right. The actual cabin, 500 feet away, the campground that Janie said the neighbors was staying at. She was trying to blame the neighbor back then. Yes.
Looking for the kids. So then Daniel said to Malaya, well, where are the kids? And she, somewhere along the line, he got the idea that she was saying they were in the woods. So he grabbed the truck, having already looked at the edge of the property there where the cabin that was.
He grabbed the truck?
He grabbed the truck, having already looked at the edge of the property.
Having already looked at the edge of the
there where the cabin that was, and his mother was there. So his mother headed up through the woods by foot over to the other roads, over to the intersection of the other two roads, because the boot print they found was right on the edge of the bank, and it looked like it was pointing up over the side of the. It looked like it was heading up over the bank into the woods.
Oh, well, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yes, she said the woods. It's documented. Yes. Yep. First instinct was the woods. Correct. What do you mean by now 2 different times? And he says that the footprint.
So he grabbed the truck, having already looked at the edge of the property there where the cabin that was, and his mother was there. So his mother headed up through the woods by foot over to the other roads, over to the intersection of the other two roads, because the boot print they found was right on the edge of the bank, and it looked.
The boot print that they found was on the edge of the bank.
Looked like it was pointing up over the side of the. It looked like it was heading up over the bank into the woods.
It looked like it was heading up at the bank, heading toward the woods.
Because the boot print they found was right on the edge of the bank, and it looked like it was pointing up over the side of the. It looked like it was heading up over the bank into the woods. So his mother went searching for the kids up in the woods by foot, while Daniel grabbed his van or truck and went out the driveway and then circled.
While Daniel grabbed his van or truck. We're halfway there. Yes. That's right. Daniel grabbed his van. Because, in my opinion, maybe Durwood has something to hide. Maybe he don't. But maybe Janie was a little bit more relaxed with him. And why isn't it taking a fucking screenshot? And she said, yeah, Daniel got in his car. Remember, Daniel said, I got the keys to my car, said it twice, caught himself, and then he says, got the keys to the car. Remember that? In DT's chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you remember that. Yes, he was. Okay. Just making sure we're on the same page. Perfecto. Perfecto. We are wearing it down, y'all. Wearing it down.
wearing it down. One second. Yeah, I got your new one, Sassy. This is from Durwood, but it's redacted up here. I know a lot more now than I did last week. I confronted Janie today, and Daniel wouldn't even come out of the trailer. I believe most of Daniel's family know what happened. Malaya knows exactly where the kids are, and as of now, I'm done with all of them. Too many liars, including Daniel. Absolutely. Absolutely. Does Janie have a running water or a stove or something to make tea in her camper? I don't know. Yes, I do, if you have it. Yes, I do. Acadian girl, thank you so much, my dear. Welcome to the Pearl family. Appreciate you. Guys, we are 2 away from our membership goal. We need 2 more members. Come on, y'all. Can we get 2 more members? Make sure I don't. Okay, got that down. Okay. All right. Another link. Phone call with Belinda. Okay, thank you so much for that. 610. Even, and this is the thing, Durwood could have been used and not even noted at the time. Oh, Joyous, you don't have to do that, Joyous. Thank you so much, Joyous. You already got the pin, Miss Joyous. You met the ball. Thank you, Miss Joyous. Very kind. Appreciate you. Magdalena, thank you for giving a promo to us. Thank you. I appreciate you. I will use it. Thank you, Miss Joyous. Love you, darling. I am going to be shredding this stuff. Magdalena, thank you so much, my love. Appreciate you guys. So sweet. I got something here. 1 second. What's the time? Hold on. About the 610 phone call with Belinda talking. Thank you. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to play something real quick. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Guys, we're getting somewhere.
But she called the school at 6:18 and he had that proof on his phone. And I asked him if he gave that to the police.
And Janie has everything on her phone, right down to the point. And Janie wasn't actually sleeping that heavy or anything the first morning that morning, because her Ron, her brother, had called her at 6:10 a.m. in the morning, and she heard the phone ringing and got up and never caught it. But then she called him right back at something like 6:15. And that's on her phone. So Janie was already up and stirring around a little bit. Sworn statement testimony that she heard those kids come out of the back door. Not seen them, but she heard them.
That was around 6:15. Maybe that's why Malaya was out by the driveway, because she called the school at 6.
Oh, guys. Interesting. interesting. Okay, hold on. Watch this. Jack and Lilly Sullivan. Janie. Watch this. Okay, where's the full one at? Bear with me. Maybe Hunter's got it here. Hold on. I remember doing a live and I said, Janie, why don't you just show your phone a little bit more? I'm looking. Okay. 1 second. Okay. Is it CBC? Who was it with? Oh, I found it. Never mind. I got it. Look at this. And it's all coming together now. Oops, did I play all of that? Let me make sure I played all that. Damn. Can y'all still hear that? 1 second. Keep listening.
That was around 6:15. Maybe that's why Malaya was out by the driveway, because she called the school at 6:18 exactly. And I know the reception around the property. I couldn't use my phone, but if I stood out in a certain part out by her driveway, it would pick up reception.
When she came out,
You remember how they said that she had to go out to the property to make a 911 phone call and to say that to show that the kids were to put that they were absent that day?
knew, I mean, she heard the kids. She knew.
Use my phone, but if I stood out in a certain part out by her driveway, it would pick up reception.
When she came out, she
getting it.
knew, I mean, she heard the kids. She knew the kids were supposed to be there. And she come up to Malaya, and Malaya was standing there with Meadow on her arm, looking at the phone. And Janie looked at Malaya and said, well, where's the kids? Because she knew the kids were there. She just heard the kids. Where's the kids? And Malaya sort of looked stunned. Well, where's the kids? Oh, she said they're in the woods. Malaya said to Janie, they're in the woods. Now Janie well, how long were they gone? 20 minutes, she said. So there's where then Daniel came running out.
But she called.
Okay. All right. Now look at this. Oh, I thought my camera was on. Okay, look at this, y'all. If you go back to my live, the first time I reviewed this, watch this. Hold on. Where does she talk? Where does she talk about her brother? Might have been
I
here.
plan on putting a pool up this year for the kids. You need level ground for a pool. That's what I was doing. I was leveling out the ground to set up a pool.
And this is the Thursday.
Level
This
you.
is Thursday.
Right.
Friday, all the investigators, search and rescue and everything.
Oh, honey.
Right around here was where they found the only footprint.
This is where the boot.
This is where I was raking that night.
What's wrong?
That's
Oh,
where
the
the
electric.
footprint was found, in the mud where I was raking.
I thought there was two boot prints.
There was
found.
supposed to be a footprint found away up on the pipeline.
Right.
Malaya sent me the picture of it. That's all I know.
The wind has been terrible. It's been terrible. Vintage, good to see you, my love. Thank you so much for gifting a pearl necklace. Really do appreciate you. Okay. It's got to be back here then. It's got to be here.
And so that's where.
That's where I heard them. And I can hear everything in that trailer. If two kids get out of a fence, and Jack and Lily are all the time yelling, especially Lily, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go, Jackie. It's all I hear out here. When the kids get out of the fence and come out through here, I would have heard them yelling, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go. I didn't hear anything. The next thing I heard is I heard Daniel yelling. He was yelling for Jack and Lily.
Okay.
I didn't get up because I thought he was yelling for Jack and Lily in the house. So the next thing you know,
It's got to be.
come out of the trailer after I heard Daniel, about, I'd say 10 minutes after I heard him, I come out of the trailer. I opened up the door, was standing here. Malaya was standing right here with Meadow on her hip. And I come out and I said, what's up? She said, Jack and Lily are missing. I said, how long? She said, about 20 minutes.
Right there.
I closed the door, got my boots on, came out here, ran up in the woods. Just right up here. The kids have a little fort that they made out of sticks and fir branches. And
All right, guys. I need to know where the hell she shows it here somewhere. It's got to
here,
be here.
I plan on putting a pool there. There was, that's all I know. And that they can confirm that was Lily and Jack's was right here.
So
Oh.
it was child's side.
This is where she's.
My tea. Okay, I was up at 6 o'clock, sat in there,
Okay, up at 6 o'clock. You heard her say that. Up at 6 o'clock.
had my tea, and then on Facebook, 7 o'clock,
Watch.
I get up, come over here, fed my chickens. My brother, Ron, called me at
Here we go. All right, you see this. This is May 2nd, 8:48. May 2nd. What's up here, Janie? See that right there? What's that up there? Janie. Uh, 8:48. 10:19. 10:30. 10:35. Uh-huh. Oh, I'm glad you got your. Well, thank God you got it back. Yes. No, this is Messenger. This is Messenger. There, I want to know what's up above that. Because hold on, listen to this. Listen to this again. Listen to what Durwood says and oh shit. And listen to what Belinda says.
The school at 6:18, and he had that proof on his phone, and I asked him if he gave that to the police.
And Janie has everything on her phone, right?
But she called the school at 6:18, and he had that proof on his phone, and I asked him if he gave that to the police.
Love you,
And
Joyous.
Janie has everything on her phone, right down to the point. And Janie wasn't actually sleeping that heavy or anything the first morning that morning, because her Ron, her brother, had called her at 6:10 a.m. in the morning, and she heard the phone ringing and got up and never caught it. But then she called him right back at something like 6:15, and that's on her phone. So Janie was already up and stirring around a little bit. Sworn statement testimony that she heard those kids come out of the back door, not seen them, but she heard them.
Janie, if you gave a sworn statement that you heard those kids and you might not have, I would say, can I revise that if you really didn't?
It was around 6:15. Maybe that's why Malaya was out by the driveway, because she called the school at 6:15.
Not seen them, but she heard them.
That was around 6:15. Maybe that's why Malaya was out by the driveway, because she called the school at 6:18 exactly. And I know the reception around the property. I couldn't use my phone, but if I stood out in a certain part out by her driveway, it would pick up reception.
When she came out, she knew, she heard the kids. She knew the kids were supposed to be there. And she came up to Malaya, and Malaya was standing there with Meadow on her arm, looking at the phone. And Janie looked at Malaya and said, well, where's the kids? Because she knew the kids were there. She just heard the kids. Where's the kids? And Malaya sort of looked stunned. Well, where's the kids? Oh, she said they're in the woods. Malaya said to Janie, they're in the woods. Now Janie how long were they gone? 20 minutes, she said. So there's where then Daniel came running out.
But she called the school.
There we go. Okay. A comment made by Karen Clark 1 month ago. No, she has always been she beat a woman's head into a rock years ago. Who was that? Who's that, Rachui? Okay. Now let's get back to this Durwood, because something's up, I'm telling you. Daniel grabbed his van or truck and went out to the driveway.
In the woods. So his mother went searching for the kids up in the woods by foot, while Daniel grabbed his van or truck and went out the driveway and then circled around the roads. And his mother went right through, and they pretty well met over on the other side. So then that wasn't, it was two searches, the 30-second search by foot first by Daniel, and then it was into the woods, right? So by the...
What is that? Sherman. I'm talking about Janie hearing the kids. She is. She did. But Gypsy, in the beginning, they said that Malaya was out by the driveway, either to getting service to either they said to say that the kids were not going to be at school that day, and then they said for the 911 call, and then they said in the corner. They lie so damn much. Police car and truck. How come they didn't use Malaya's car? Well, Daniel says they did, but they didn't that night, at least. Didn't need to be in the driveway to talk. No, we're talking about Malaya. Some people call it SUVs, trucks. Sorry, I meant he said Daniel used the car or truck. What truck he didn't? Malaya. Yeah. Yes, she used I forget what. She used a program, an app to do her calls, but you couldn't call 911 on it. But Malaya says Malaya did delete that app completely, by the way. She did delete that app completely, by the way, and she said, the reason I deleted it was because I didn't need it anymore. Fred, you got to put, in my opinion, my friend, you got to put in my opinion or allegedly. DM deleted her app too. In my opinion, he had her phone, in my opinion. Clock it. It was posted on social media that Malaya is currently intimate. Yes, she was in some sort of hospital.
Then by the time Daniel gets back, the Mountie said, now the story, and this is true because my sources verify even this conversation. When Daniel got back after the 30-second search, Malaya looked at him kind of stunned and said, well, should I call the cops? And Dan's exact words were, yes, call the fucking cops. That was his exact words. She called the cops. Daniel took his back after the 30-second search. Malaya looked at him kind of stunned and said, well, should I call the cops? And Dan's exact words were, yes, call the fucking cops. That was his exact words.
You can tell Daniel told him this. You can absolutely, because I've got a text message at Daniel saying, I can't believe like Malaya asked me, should I call the cops? And he says, F yeah, call the cops. These are your kids missing.
She called the cops. Daniel took his truck and went looking around the roads for the kids because he had already checked beside the place. His mother was heading up through the woods following the direction of this track. Because Daniel took his truck and went looking around the roads for the kids because he had already checked beside the place. His mother was heading up through the woods following the direction of this track, and she was going by foot through the woods, searching through the woods. And by the time Daniel came back, the Mounties were very close. By the time Daniel, and I even checked the timeline 3 or 4 different ways. It was 16 minutes later from the time that Malaya called the cops that the Mounties landed. So this is how, if Daniel was guilty of and being involved in the disappearance of these kids, the kids would have definitely been dead.
Now, again, this is when Durwood believed Daniel. He says he doesn't believe any of them anymore. I'm glad of that because they're all lying. Darlene, yes, he said that as well. He said that in an interview. That's not what Daniel said. He said for her to wait a minute till he checked the forts. Yes, he did say that in the sit-down interview. But prior to that, he did say exactly what Durwood
said. I've got the message.
No two ways about it. If Daniel was guilty of that, they would definitely be dead. If Daniel was innocent of that, and I'm only talking about the removal of the kids. I'm not talking about their life together. I'm only talking about the disappearance of the kids, okay? And if Daniel had no direct involvement with the disappearance of the kids, then I knew the kids were going to be alive.
Right. Which you said.
Because Malaya was not going to have the kids killed or seriously harmed, okay? And at the beginning of this, and even this morning, I wasn't sure about Daniel, but I'm sure now. He's over there, the whole family. And I said, yeah. And she said, well, it looks to us like Daniel killed the kids. And then she claimed, now I'm going to be truthful, Daniel, I'm not holding back. Daniel might be pissed off at me saying this, but he might as well know it. I want everybody to know.
He says he's a truthologist, so he can't. If he's a truthologist, then he can't get upset at you for being a truthologist. So go ahead.
Well, Patty told me she had suspicions that Daniel was abusing the kids, that him and Jack were having problems because they sort of had a personality clash, Patty figured, and that Jack kept rebelling against Daniel, and Daniel was trying to discipline Jack a little bit to whatever. But that's not my business.
What's that?
Patty figured, and that Jack would keep having problems because they had suspicions that Daniel was abusing.
Patty told me that she had a suspicion that Daniel
him and Jack
was abusing the kids. There you go. There you go. Patty said she had a suspicion that Daniel was abusing the kids. Yes, it changed. So Patty has a suspicion. All right. Patty has a suspicion that Daniel's abusing the kids. Daniel's kids, who saw Jack and Lilly, said that Daniel abused the kids. Malaya said Daniel picked on Jack and Lilly. There is all kinds of black eyes. Daniel just says he's clumsy. The kids are clumsy and have had several black eyes for a 4 and a 6-year-old, remember. And then I know the school called because Jack, I'll just say this, allegedly told them stuff. And because he had black eyes. Now, let me show you this. For the truthologist, Mr. Mattel, right? If you're a truthologist, you're the biggest lion sack of shit, Daniel. God have mercy on your soul. Look at this. I need to blur this person's name out because it's a source, but one second, y'all. Look at this. I thought they were just rug addicts and would fight with each other over small things, and that's why the house was dirty. Malaya did say on Easter
that Jack didn't like Daniel. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. I feel so bad for little Jack, man. I feel so bad. He's a mathologist, yeah.
Like Daniel killed the kids. Daniel might be pissed off at me saying this, but he might as well know it. I want everybody to know.
He says he's a truthologist, so he can't. If he's a truthologist, then he can't get mad at, upset at you for being a truthologist. So go ahead.
Well, Patty told me she had suspicions that Daniel was abusing the kids, that him and Jack were having problems because they sort of had a personality clash, Patty.
They had a personality clash. Yeah, Daniel's got a personality clash with a 4-year-old, y'all. Isn't that something? He can't be more mature than a 4-year-old? Isn't that something? Did I think you vintage? Thank you, baby. I appreciate you very much. And thank you again, Magdalena, for gifting 2 memberships, honey. Who clashes with a 4-year-old? Listen, they can be difficult, but a clash in personalities, the only way you can be clashing with a 4-year-old like that over and over is you're on a 4-year-old level. That's the only way you're going to be clashing with someone like that, is if you're on a 4-year-old level. Otherwise, 4-year-olds don't listen. That's how they learn. And you teach them. Right? With the contempt she has expressed for Jack and Lilly, she would have done a thing. She would have never done a thing to improve the lives, especially not a bull. Kind of sounds like that, doesn't it? Now, all of these people, Wade also says the thing about Daniel and Jack. And what's interesting, Daniel seems to get emotional when he talks about Jack more. I would love to interview Daniel. He is way, way too chicken, though. Way too chicken. Way too chicken. Daniel's.
Figured, and that Jack kept rebelling against Daniel, and Daniel was trying to discipline Jack a little bit.
Discipline Jack a little bit, which we know that to be physical.
To whatever. But that's not my business, you see. I mentioned that to you before. Yeah. Between a man and a woman, if
there is about that blanket. Monday, Daniel was telling me about that blanket. He said her family found a piece of a blanket up in a tree. He said now they never went searching at all. He found it very strange that they found a piece of blanket.
Yep. Daniel can't stand Cody. He's so jealous.
Now, I thought he told me the blanket was blue, but I won't swear my life to it because I saw a blanket up in a tree. He said now they never went searching at all. He found it very strange that they found a piece of blanket.
Daniel, and I take Belinda's word as the gospel. I truly do. I take Belinda's word as gospel.
She wants Jack and Lily found, no matter who it is or what happened. She wants the truth. Right? She has no reason to lie. No reason to lie. I wonder how DM was raised by Earl or Janie. Probably both. Night, Fred. He is Jen, yeah. Yeah, please call in, Daniel. 307-228-4906. 307-228-4906. Lines are standing by.
Now, I thought he told me the blanket.
Oh, this was the question I was going to ask. He said he found a piece of a blanket, meaning the family.
Tree. He said, now, they never went searching at all. He found.
Daniel, you said Malaya's family never went searching at all. If they never went searching, how the fuck did they find the blanket then? You're saying that they were all searching, dummy. But you're making it seem like, oh, they just planted it and, oh, found it. I wouldn't went to that house flying there if I was Cindy. I know what you mean, Nancy.
Found it very strange that they found a piece of blanket. Now, I thought he told me the blanket was blue, but I won't swear my life to it because, I mean, my memory's just not the greatest anymore. But he did tell me that it was a blanket that was chucked in the garbage, and he doesn't know if a bear or something tore the garbage bin open, but he said it was the garbage bin was tore open. And
oh, wow. So first Daniel said it was, he doesn't know if a bear got in there, and took it a kilometer away and put it up in a tree, like bears commonly do, right? I say that very, very highly with sarcasm. But now Daniel says, I said, a pink blanket. I hate when he says that. And then I put 2 and 2 together and I went and looked. And he says, it looked like someone ripped the bag a little bit, just enough to get their hand down there. If it was a bear, the bag would be shredded. So now a bear opens the bin at the end of the driveway, but does not scatter the trash everywhere. Yes, just rips up, a little piece of that blanket off and takes it a kilometer away and puts it up in a, right there on the corner where a tree is. Yeah.
the garbage bag was broke open, and he stated that he showed it to the bear or something, tore the garbage bin open, but he said the garbage bin was tore open and the garbage bag was broke open, and he stated that he showed it to the police.
Probably goddamn crows.
And he also told me that Malaya called the school at 6:18. He said he didn't even know the kids were going to be kept home that day. But she called the school at 6:18, and he had that proof on his phone. And I asked him if he gave that to the police. And he said yes.
What? Hold on.
But he didn't even know the kids were going to be kept home that day. But she called the school at 6:18, and he had that proof on his phone. And I asked him if he gave that to the police. And he said yes.
As for the people around her, I know when we come into the driveway, Janie was sitting on some kind of a bench thing or something in the driveway, and I can't remember who the woman was beside her. There was a policewoman standing there, and the policewoman was talking to them. We couldn't make out what she was saying until we got up closer. And Janie was really crying a lot. And this woman was.
Yep, Brandy, you're right. DM even slips on DT and says blanket was on top. Then the blanket was on the bottom of what? Yes. Hey everyone. Hey Justin. Hey Val. How you doing, girl? How you doing, ma'am? Sorry, but I still do not think Daniel would give his password to Malaya. Probably not. But I believe Malaya had to give it to him. I haven't even gotten to the interesting chats that I believe Daniel screen names Daniel is going under. I guess we'll have to wait till tomorrow for that.
Saying to her, "It's okay, Mom. They're not blaming you. They just want to look in your trailer. They're not."
Mom, they're not blaming you. They just want to look in your trailer. 2 trailer parkours go around the outside, round the outside, round the outside. Yes, look at my email, Justin. Meredith is on it. I didn't get an email from you, Meredith. Did I? And Wolfie to the office, please. Wolfie to the office. Hold on, guys. We're going we have a new and I'm going to make a graphic for this. Wolfie, pull over, please. Wolfie, pull over. Wolfie, pull over, please. Wolfie, pull over. Okay. Okay. Wolfie, the reason I stopped you here today is because you said you was going to send me that email with all of it on that I was showing earlier, and you didn't. So I'm going to need that email, license, and insurance, please. Thank you. I'm going to start pulling you guys over in chat. So just be ready. You might get it. You might get it. Still. What is wrong with me? There's nothing here, Wolfie. Nothing. I don't know.
Blaming you. They just need to make sure that there's nothing in the trailer. And she went on to say that there was nothing in the trailer. She didn't want them around her dog. And the policewoman told her that she was impeding an investigation.
I don't want you around my dog. Just a question for the chat. That's a cute idea, Justin. I think so, Brandy. I think so. I think it's cute. Just a question. If the police was looking for, I don't know, children, and at your house, and then your kids lived on the same property, and they said, "Ma'am, we need to come in your house just to take a look. We're not accusing you of anything. We just need to take a look." And this woman who says really weird things, right? I don't want you around my dog. There's nothing in there. I don't want you around my dog. Okay? He's already stressed. He's a Weimaraner. And
His hair's falling out. Okay? Nothing is in there. For God's sakes. What's wrong with you guys? Thank you, Wolfie. What would you do? What would you do? You would get a collar, or your dog has a collar, right? And you would say, "Hold on, let me put him on a leash real quick," right? I understand protocol, ma'am, sir, officer, but not them, not Janie.
And she would have to get a search warrant. And then I thought, well, we'll just continue on into the trailer. That was the only thing I found just a little strange, that I was wondering what that was all about.
Female officer that was there, and they're saying that Janie refused to let her search her trailer. That's bullshit. The officer asked Janie if she could search the trailer, and Janie said, well, if you want to risk getting bit by my dog because he's in there tied up and pissed off, so if you want to go in, go ahead, but if you get bit by the dog, it's your own arse.
Well, I do remember when I was there, I don't know who put their arm around her and told her, Mom, they're not blaming you. They just want to search the trailer. And I do remember her saying she didn't want her dog to get hurt.
When Janie finally jumped in, I was 90% sure, through a bunch of other stuff, that Daniel never killed those kids. As far as abuse or anything like that, I wasn't getting into that issue either way. It wasn't my business, because the only way that would be my business is if Malaya herself. Now, Patty suspected abuse, and that's how I got into this. Patty. I went over about 2 weeks. It'll be too long. Let's just put it this way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to shorten it.
That's okay, shorten it.
Patty suspected abuse. Patty called me and said, you know Daniel, right? I said, yeah, my young fellow knows him, and he was around our property a few times. She said, what do you think of him? I said, I find Daniel fine young fellow, never been a problem. So that was all right. She said, look, I think I have a problem. I said, what's that? She said, I think Daniel's abusing Jack. And I said, why would you say that, Patty? What do you think? And she said, because when they visit here, Jack's getting marked up. He's getting some bruises and scratches and stuff. And I said, oh, Jesus. So I said, Patty, well, I said, it's like this. And I think I knew where her conversation was going. I think she was going to ask me to sort of butt in.
Sad.
And I did. At that point, I said, no.
Bruised and scratched up. Don't she let that damn dog out to go to the bathroom.
I said, as long as Malaya and Daniel are living together as a couple, on your word, Patty, or anybody else's, nobody has the right to interfere in their relationship. I said, but at this, Patty, I said, if Malaya's in trouble and the cops won't help her.
Well, they supposedly had to get like a what is it? A warrant, rather. Right? So, very interesting, isn't it? I got something so cute.
I said, then tell Malaya to call me directly with her own voice and her own mouth and tell me she wants out of there, and she's scared to get out of there, and I'll go right over and I'll take her out of there and won't help her. This, Patty, I said, if Malaya's in trouble and the cops won't help her, I said, then tell Malaya to call me directly with her own voice and her own mouth and tell me she wants out of there.
Yeah, and she says her son's not a meth head too, so.
And she's scared to get out of there, and I'll go right over and I'll take her out of there with the kids, and I said, I'll take her.
Okay, look at this, guys. This is our new thing. Oops, I gotta push the button. I forgot to push the other button. 1 second. Wait, where's the... Hold on. No, it's... Sorry. I gotta redo it. 1 second. Nope. 1 second. Chat, pull over. Okay, here we go. I gotta redo it. Okay.
To your place or wherever she wants to go. And I have never heard from Malaya since.
Justin was really upset. He was crying. Daniel was out talking to reporters at the end of the driveway. And Justin was really, really upset. So right away I was thinking they must have got some kind of bad news. So when I walked up close, right away, Logan said, "Who are you? And what do you want?" And I just told her, I said, "Don't get moldy with me." I said, I'm the grandmother on the biological father's side.
Exactly.
And right away she apologized. She apologized profusely. And then she proceeded to tell me that Malaya left on Saturday.
I bet you Belinda was just shocked. All right, here we go. Oops. Wolfie, you're getting pulled over. Wolfie, you're getting pulled over. The reason I stopped you today is because I don't know. I'm just using you as an example. Damn. Isn't that cute? I'm going to start pulling y'all guys over in chat. Lots of people say no to searches. It's usually they are guilty of something or they're just a Richard. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I know I'm not trying to stir the pot or anything, but just because you were there, looking back, the fact that they hadn't gotten any bad news and they hadn't found anything, was Justin's reaction, looking back, do you think that was appropriate?
It struck me as very, very odd. Because I said to my sister afterwards, I mean, I know they were probably somewhat close with the kids because they were there for 2 years. But I said he seemed really devastated. So it did strike me as just a little off. When Malaya stated about who Jamie was and who Justin was, she said they live in the trailer out back. She used the words they. And my sister and I afterwards thought, wow, that's such a small trailer. But then I heard Logan's interview being broadcasted where she was on TikTok and somebody had asked about Justin and she said, well, no, he's got his own problems right now, that he's in the middle of a divorce. And then right away, bells went off in my head and it's like, well, he's in the middle of a divorce. Well, then maybe Malaya was right. He was staying with Jamie at that particular time.
This one, Wolfie.
But I still don't know. Everybody is saying that, no, he didn't stay there. But I know she said they. And if he's in the middle of a divorce, my mind states, well, him and his wife probably aren't staying in the same house together.
Oh, you did send it. Sorry, it came as a package. Okay. It came as a package. I got it. Well, I wanted to tell you that it was Janie herself that told me she heard who she was sure was Malaya ing the children and escorted them out. She told me this part at least 6 times. I made her tell me over and over to be sure. Daniel was there when she said this, and Janie also told Belinda Gray this when I hooked them up for their phone call. So one of us is lying now. I know a lot more than I did last week. I confronted Janie today, and Daniel wouldn't even come out of the trailer. I believe most of Daniel's family know what happened. Malaya knows exactly where the kids are, and as of now, I'm done with all of them. Too many liars, including Daniel. Yes. Couldn't blame her. I believe he was living there too. I believe he was staying there. I don't believe he was living there, but I do believe he was staying there because him and his wife were fighting and getting a divorce. And now, question, Justin, how late warnings being pulled over? No, being pulled over is like just a silly. I don't really know why I'm going to pull people over yet. Maybe if I need you to rewrite something in chat, or I don't know, asking you a question, or I need you to send me something, then I'll be pulling, asking, what the hell is it not working? Hold on. I don't got the sirens on. Just the lights, not the sirens this time. Just the lights. I just threw on the lights, not the sirens. I'm always wondering about Justin crying. I know. Was the guy with the buck teeth and hat? Was that the guy with the buck teeth and hat? I don't know what you mean, Val. No problem. You changed your screen name? If I get pulled over, you might want to frisk me. Ooh, don't threaten me with a good time, girl. How can I send Justin an email? Amy Beth. Of course. Hold on one second. Let me show you. Maybe this damn thing will work. Why does it do this stuff? No, it's not going to work. It's mods, can y'all drop my email, please? They all have buck teeth and hats. I had buck teeth. I did. I had really big buck teeth. Like, I could probably stick a pencil between my teeth when I was like in second grade. Who was Greg? I have no idea. If Justin was staying there, he definitely knows what happened, but now he's back with his wife. Clock it. Yeah. Classic line in this whole case. Are you one of them YouTubers who hurt you? Who hurt you? The video with 10, yeah. Not with the meth. Not with the meth, Misty. He's I didn't even get to half of my lap tonight, and I've been here 3 hours. So we'll finish the rest tomorrow. Justin's wife would have told the cops where he was or wasn't that night. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe not. I know. I would take him to a veterinarian probably. Justin, did you also get a C&D? Who got a C&D? If I do, it'll just go. Why? I'm not sure Justin or his wife were questioned. Justin was questioned, yeah. Darlene Thomas Bayer, Brenda's lawyer, got from Durwood as they talk every day. Oh, well, all I'm going to do is it. It's not like I've never got one before. I'll do it live. There you go. So, all right, kids. The guy with the buck teeth and the hat is Daniel's father, Earl. Yes. Yeah. I do know that. Justin, you look great. I'm still in bed this Tuesday morning. Well, thank you, Kim. Thank you. I try for you guys. Otherwise, if I wasn't on camera, I would not. But I get ready for you guys every single day. I put it all together for you every day. Some days I go in the bathroom, I'm like, oh, I want to do this. But then I turn my music on and I'm just like, Amy Beth. Whoa, have you sent that to Justin? What did Amy Beth say? Where's Amy? Amy Beth, to the office, please. Or actually, pull over. Amy Beth, pull over, please. Amy Beth. The reason I stopped you today, Amy Beth, was what is a C&D, a cease and desist, meaning it's a threat before lawsuit. It's a video saying that the RCMP has a USB. What do you mean? Guys, listen. There are these faceless channels, screen names, and all of this that they'll say things like 10 minutes ago, Jack and Lilly found. Right? If you see those, write in the comments and say this is a lie. You are hurting the case. Because if you think that they're found, you're like, oh, well, they're found. Never mind. It drives me nuts. Yes. I don't like the AI channels. I don't like them. Now they're doing the AI documentaries and stuff, and a lot of people love them. I don't like them. I don't mind some, like the shorts or whatever, but I don't like the long form content at all. Yep, they just want you to click on it. Yeah. I mean, listen, it takes a lot of time, energy to research. It takes a lot of time. And there are people that are just lazy. Absolutely lazy. And do something else. Yeah, same simply. Yeah. I know, Meredith. I can't with them. Some of them do sound legit, because they know how to word the things and all that, and it's just wrong. Amy Beth, that's why I was wondering what you thought of it. Thought of what? No, I don't know. Referring to the USB in the docs, perhaps. I'll look at it, but you'll have to send it to me. Hey, Zelda. How are you, dear? Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I've seen that. See here. No, I didn't get it. I don't know if you emailed it or something. I don't know if it's my damn email that's not working or what. Or working for some people or not working for others. It's weird. Oh, look. Oh, you're funny. Well, Amy, but I don't know if, I mean, I've been on this case since about 4 hours after they were reported missing. So I know I've seen literally and heard it all. Some things I don't remember, and I don't know everything. I'm not going to be arrogant saying I know everything, because sometimes I'm like, huh, never heard that. But then I'm usually like, oh, okay. But yeah, thank you, Miss Zelda. Appreciate you guys. All right, guys. I'm 3 hours and 8 minutes in. Um, Tomorrow I will be live, hopefully earlier. I'm going to try to do at least 2 lives tomorrow. I need to call Dr. Vana. We're going to do, hopefully one of the lives on the Jean Benet Ramsey case. I kind of talked to you guys about it the other night. Some new information. But I'm going to be digging into more of this. I need to get with someone in Canada that can help me, like a professional, like a private investigator, PI. Need to check on some stuff, maybe. Yeah, yeah. I've got a little connection to that case since I was little. Never had a chance of a normal childhood. Yeah. Very sad. Beautiful young little gal. It was a crazy time. Jean Benet Ramsey, O.J. Simpson, and Menendez brothers. Damn, those were crazy times. All right, guys, and I tell you, I'm really wondering about little Melody. Like, what's she still hasn't been found. Mom's still not arrested. It's all crazy to me. It's just crazy. Yeah, me too, Zelda. Me too. It's a case that I've always, watched and all of that. I talked about it last time I talked about it, but Patsy and I grew up in the same area, like right in the same area, same county, same town, all of that. And her family, John has family here, and we're there. I don't live there anymore, but he, my dad was friends with their family and stuff. Do I think the Menendez brothers should be released? No. I don't. Nope. I don't. I think it's. Yeah, I need to cover that. I've covered it since almost the beginning as well, and it's just so much. She was drugged. I think she's out there somewhere along the roadway. Mousy. I think she's out there. I know. The bodies were piling up around him too. I knew what you meant, Mousy. All right, guys. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your time. You guys are all amazing people, and just honored to be here with each and every one of you. Justice for Jack and Lilly Sullivan. Good night.